Why do you always feel like you were drawn to being in the woods? I mean, what's the story there? Because that's not a sort of usual characteristic, and I'm interested in that.
When I was growing up, there was woods behind the first house I grew up in, and then we moved again, and we had woods again. And don't get me wrong, I played video games. But while a lot of the times my friends were busy playing video games, I was in the woods building fucking tree forts. And, sometimes by myself. All my friends would be, at home playing video games, and I would be building tree forts. And so, like, I gained use. I ended up in construction, ultimately, probably because I was building tree forts as a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old. And it built valuable skills, not only in building, but also in, this is difficult to explain, but because of my experience in the woods and so much time spent in the woods, I'm like a super efficient mover through the woods. I'm super quiet. I'm super, if I bring somebody on a hike with me, I don't see shit because everyone else is too loud. If I'm alone, I see everything. The deer, I've had experiences with bears and mountain lions. If I'm alone, I can have those experiences. But if I drag my son with me or something, it's too loud. And again, another solo activity that I'm almost always involved in.
You become one with the woods.
Doing my best to be at one with the woods. Yes, absolutely.
But do you feel a spirit of the woods that sort of you come into contact with, and is it different in the different forests you go into, or is this kind of a universal essence that you feel when you're in that environment?
I would say I feel at one, yes, a universal essence. If I'm alone in the house, I don't do a lot of talking to myself. But when I'm walking in the woods, I'm out loud talking to myself because I think I'm talking to the woods and myself. It's not like I'm gaining sacred knowledge from the woods, but I'm using the trees around me to bounce ideas off and maybe sort things out in my life. You can talk to the trees. And then I also want to add an anecdote about mushrooms. I do like to take mushrooms while I'm in the woods, and I found that you can speak to the mushroom in English, and the mushroom will respond to you in English. And so, yes, the trees, the mushroom, myself, you've got the animal kingdom in myself, you've got the plant kingdom with the trees, and you've got the fungi kingdom with the mushroom. And we're all meshing together, and it's something. There's more to it than just walking around in the woods.
It's kind of like there's this therapeutic power with just being
100%.
Being around trees. Like,
yep.
Like what is that? Like they seem to just clear your mind and sort of bring the most present, best version of yourself out.
I would say that they literally change your vibration. If you are in a negative vibration and you go touch a tree, it will change your vibration. Like when you get like chills or goosebumps or just a general good feeling, your vibration is changing from a negative one to a positive one. Or if you start feeling negative, you've moved vibration from a positive vibration to a negative vibration. I think that the trees are at a pretty constant positive vibration. And so if you can get into the trees, touch the trees your body will naturally want to resonate with the vibrations that are happening around it. And so a mood changer, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I remember there was a woods when like a 5-minute drive away from my university last year, and when it all the sort of noise and bullshit of being a student, especially in like the uni I was in, and all the sort of everything that comes with that, I always found it very useful to go into that natural environment. And it was almost like my constant inner narrative went on mute as soon as I entered into the forest, and all the sounds were just the crunching of leaves underneath my feet, and there's this sort of rustling of the leaves in the breeze that sort of shush my mental noise down, to a nice peaceful hum. So I can 100% relate to that. So you go into the woods every day. Is that sort of part of your routine then?
Well, right. I would say the last 2 weeks have probably been the most spent out of the woods in a long time. I'm actually in the process of moving out of my home that I've lived in for 38 years, and I'm like, to be honest, I'm extremely distraught. I'm right now. They're in the house cleaning the carpets. Tomorrow they're going to take pictures, and the house is supposed to go on the market by Friday. I haven't really decided exactly what I'm going to do. I bought this camper that I'm in right now, and I'm thinking I'm going to, it's getting winter here. I'm going to head south, hopefully, and maybe escape the winter for once. I'm literally at a crossroads in my life that I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I kind of spent my son, I have a son, he is an adult, he's 18 years old. So the last 18 years, I've just kind of spent, my attention belonged to him. And now he's an adult, so I think that I can abandon him for a month or at a time, and I think that will be fine. So
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm going to do.
That's quite exciting. I mean, it's scary, but it's exciting, isn't it? It's an adventure.
Yeah, I'm absolutely terrified, yes.
Wow. Yeah. So talk to me about foraging. Is that something a technique you learnt about in the books you read? Is it a consequence of intuition that you picked up on in a psychedelic experience? And then talk to me about sort of your journey developing the skill of being able to forage and recognize different mushrooms and experience that world for yourself from a personal perspective, because that must have that must create a sort of deeper connection than just buying something from somebody else or being given things. Actually going out into the woods that you love and connecting with that spirit and collecting the beauty that's there and using it for your own sort of benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Foraging, time and experience. A lot of people are just like, well, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know what's poison, I don't know what'll kill me, what'll save me. Time and experience. If you're going in the woods and I'm also, in the U.S., you have to technically be certified. So I had to go take a class and get licensed anybody can go in the woods, pick mushrooms and eat them and give them to people, but I actually have a license to go in the woods, pick mushrooms, and then sell them. So I had to take a course. It starts with some books. It starts with just going in the woods, taking pictures, and identifying some mushrooms. I probably picked 100 pounds of mushrooms before I ever even thought, let's eat one. It was over a year before I was like, I think I'm going to eat this one. And it was a Maitake, hen of the woods, was the very first mushroom that I found and ate. It was super satisfying. It felt really good. I felt like I was nourishing myself almost like nourishing myself with myself, because I went out, I found it, I foraged it, I cleaned it, I cooked it, I did all the things, and super gratifying and satisfying to hunt for food, find it. Also, there's nothing better than free food. I hashtag free food on any foraging post that I make. But as far as it's just time and experience, now that I know which one's a lion's mane, I can't mistake it. Now that I know which one is a turkey tail, it's super hard to mistake it.